Hello, I'm Lindsay Richardson. In this section I want to show you in detail how to properly use your ezcutter knife. First, however, I need to take a few minutes and describe the various parts of the knife. This blue part here is called the handle. This middle black part is called the slide, and this black end piece is called the nose. The ring on the back is for hanging the knife when it's not in use. If you look closely right here where I'm pointing, you can see a blue colored button protruding from a hole in the slide. This is called the safety stop button. With the slide and the stop button located in this position, the cutting blade is exposed and ready for freehand cutting. New knives are sold with their blades in this position so customers can see that a blade has already been installed in the knife. The blade on your ezcutter knife should be retracted back inside the knife when you're not using it. To retract the blade, hold the slide in one hand and simultaneously press the safety button firmly with your thumb like this until the blade assembly automatically springs back inside the knife. This is the recommended blade position for safer handling and storage. It is also the position the blade should be in when you change or replace blades. The ezcutter knives accept two types of blade assemblies, swivel blades and fixed blades. The new knives all come with a swivel blade installed. The knife that I'm holding now, however, has a fixed blade assembly installed. I will change it to a swivel blade assembly to just demonstrate how to change a blade. To start, I firmly grasp the slide in one hand like this and unscrew the nose by turning it counterclockwise. After removing the nose piece, you can see this fixed blade assembly protruding through the spring. I will remove the spring and set it aside. Then I will carefully remove the blade assembly while trying not to touch the sharp blade. You can see that the fixed blade assembly has a slot here on one end. When installing a fixed blade assembly, remember to rotate it slightly as you insert it until you can feel the slot mate with the pin inside the knife. This prevents the assembly from rotating. Now, I want to install a new swivel blade assembly. Swivel blade assemblies do not have a slot on the end. Instead, they have a rotating piece. Just insert this rotating piece into the handle, replace the spring, and once again, screw on your nose piece. The swivel and fixed blade assemblies that I just described allow ezcutter knives to be used in three different ways. For freehand cutting, like a traditional swivel knife, to trace templates and cut matching patterns, or to make straight cuts using a fixed blade. I will briefly demonstrate freehand cutting by cutting a waving pattern in a piece of paper. First, I will need to extend my blade and lock it in position for freehand cutting. I do this by holding the blue handle of my knife in one hand like this and the slide in my other hand like this. Then I use my thumb and firmly press the blue stop button into the slide. While still pressing in the button, I push the slide forward towards the nose to expose the blade like this. As the slide moves toward the nose, the stop button will pop out of this second hole in the slide, and the blade will then be exposed and locked in freehand cutting position. To make a wavy cut, I hold my ezcutter knife like a pen in one hand and the paper firmly against my ezcutter mat with my other hand. I begin cutting like this, making sure to apply enough pressure so that the blade cuts through the paper and into the cutting mat. This freehand technique can be used in limitless ways. Now I will demonstrate how to use my knife to trace a template and cut a matching pattern in a photograph. First, I place the photo here on my ezcutter cutting mat. Then I select the size of oval template that I want to use. In this case, I selected one of the larger size templates. With the larger template patterns like this, It's a good idea to tape your material and your template to the cutting mat in 2 or 3 places. This helps to prevent any slipping during cutting. Now check and make sure that you are using a swivel blade and that the blade is fully retracted inside of your knife. If it is exposed, as this one is, retract it by pressing in the safety stop button as I previously explained. You first need to align your knife blade to the direction you plan to cut. To do this, I start by holding my knife like a pen with my thumb on top of the safety stop button like this. Press the button in firmly and hold it there while you move the nose of the knife to an unused area of your cutting mat. Continue to press in on the stop button as you also push downward on the slide. You will feel the blade assembly move down and penetrate the cutting mat. As you continue to push down on the slide, drag the nose of the knife along the mat for a short distance in the direction that you expect to start cutting when you trace your template. This procedure aligns the cutting blade properly for cutting. Now, as I hold down firmly on my template with one hand, as I move my knife to the point along my template where I want to start my actual cut, I make sure to hold my knife perpendicular to my cutting mat as I place the nose of my knife against my template and paper like this. Keeping your knife perpendicular helps prevent it from slipping away from the edge of your template as you cut. At this point, I'm still holding in the stop button, so now I just push down gently on the slide until I feel the blade penetrate my paper. I start out using gentle downward pressure and let the knife blade do the cutting as I trace around my template. I can increase my downward pressure if necessary, but many times, especially with thicker materials, it's better to continue with gentle pressure and simply cut around your pattern a second or even a third time until you see your shape pop free from its base material. After I finish tracing and my shape has popped free, I can remove my thumb from the stop button and the blade assembly will automatically return to its retracted position.